And maybe that'll, like you said, you didn't like the lights.
What lights?
These, the lighting in here. We're live now, so anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
I didn't want to call y'all bitches. That was me that said that.
What's up, everybody?
Look at how it made our face look.
I know. I was about to ask you, do you want it brighter?
Oh, it's raining, I think.
1 second. I can make it cooler.
Yeah, do that. And can you turn off the other light?
No.
Oh.
Can't do that. Guys, we're getting our lighting on fleek, so give us a second. Duh. Hey, what do you think about your face now?
I mean, I think it's those lights that are shitty.
Yeah. For video, those aren't the best, but for working on the stuff, they do a really good job. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday live stream of Wreck Bike Rebuild. Now that the motorcycle is done and everything, we basically just mess around.
And answer any last minute questions.
Yeah, we answer any last minute questions. We answer a lot of season 2 potential questions. Any questions you guys have about the current season. And what else? Tonight's live stream will only be for 30 minutes because I got lots of shit to do. And having an extra half hour would be very, very helpful to me. So hopefully you guys understand. And I'm going to let you be in charge of the chat and let me know what we're going to say. So the last episode, if you guys haven't seen it, episode 16, it's basically me sitting in the garage and letting people know what the process is of getting a bike's title go from salvaged to rebuilt. The rebuilt is basically the best you can get a title of a motorcycle once it's salvaged to be able to ride it back on the road again. So that's all good.
How'd the check go?
The check went so much better than I had planned.
You thought it would.
Than I thought it would, yeah. So I don't know if I don't think I've said it to you guys or anything, but I wasn't worried that the bike wouldn't pass the inspection, but a buddy of mine and other things that I read online said that getting a motorcycle checked, like to get rebuilt, was a terrible process and is totally dependent on the inspector. And I lucked out and got this really awesome young inspector guy who had just, every time I say inspector, I want to say gadget. My entire body and soul was like, gadget. But the inspector was really awesome. And I'm over here thinking that, so let me just paint y'all the picture that, do you know what day that was? Tuesday. Yeah, it was because it was the day the video came out.
Yeah.
So the day the video came out was the actual day that the motorcycle was getting inspected. And I was terrified. I walked in, like Heather dropped me off because I had some other stuff to do at Mountain Motorsports that day. And I texted Heather after I got in. I got to Mountain Motorsports and went back to the shop. And the crankcase was off because they were like resealing it or something like that. Because they expected us to get there at 2, and the inspector called me early, and he's like, hey, I'm in the area at 11. And I'm like, well, that kind of ruins my entire day that I planned, but whatever, that's fine. I want to get the bike inspected. So I meet this dude at like 11:30 at Mountain Motorsports. We go to the back. The bike, its crankcase is off. Like, you can't crank it up. And it ain't like a quick process. That's like an hour long of like sealing it and cleaning it and all this kind of crap. So I'm over here like shitting myself, texting Heather like, babe, I don't know what to do right now. Like the inspector's going to be here in like 10 minutes and the crankcase is off. So I just sat there and shit myself for about 10 minutes. He gets there and like super awesome dude goes to the back, sees this motorcycle and he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. You know, I'm sure it'll get back on and it'll be good. And he checks the forks to make sure they're straight. He checks the wheels to make sure there's no cracks in them. And then he checks the blinkers. And for some reason, the right side blinkers didn't blink at all. I don't know why. We're still looking into that. I got Brian looking into it. But those were like his only things. He didn't need to hear it cranked up. I gave him my old photos. He didn't want to double check the crankcase wasn't cracked open. Like, it was such a relief and it passed and everything. So yeah, it blows my mind that it was that easy. So kind of had a big woosah moment on that. And obviously the bike is like should meet all inspection standards and all that kind of stuff. But in the moment, it was a terrifying situation. And okay, so what else happened? So I think I said in the video that the bike had to get inspected by this guy. Then I had to submit his inspection and lots of paperwork so that I could then go to a station to get the bike inspected. That is not how it works. So Home Dude told me that I didn't even have to print anything off. This dude brought all the paperwork, filled out all the paperwork that I needed. I had to sign like 3 things, and he gave me this bundle of paperwork that was like, okay, send this in with this much money, and they'll send you back a title. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's awesome. So what's happening right now is I have this big old thick amount of paperwork that I have to, like, you have to ship it with tracking and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to send that off tomorrow. And then supposedly I asked the dude, I was like, is there any way to like make this happen faster? And he said, not with a DMV. That's just, it is what it is. So I'm going to send it out tomorrow. That'll be the 29th. So if everything works out, by the 29th of July, the bike should be road legal. Like I'll have the title back and I should be able to ride it on the road. That means I can do a first ride, and that means we can give the bike away. So right now, everything depends on getting the title. So it's July 29th is the date we're looking at. I haven't read any of the chat thus far. So yeah, there's that. But that's hilarious. But that's where we're at. So as far as why the crankcase was off, I'm not going to put this in a video, and I'm not going to like talk about it. I'm going to tell you guys about it. But there was what they call it, a dowel pin was missing out of the shifter. So when Brian rode the bike, the shifter would shift gears, but it wouldn't click back into place. He had to like push it. So he ripped the crankcase off and found out that it was just dowel pin, super, like not a big deal. So he's getting that fixed. I'm going to do it off camera because there's not really a video there. You know, I'm not going to do an entire video of him taking a crankcase off, putting the dowel pin in, and putting the crankcase back on. But that's getting handled. And we have no clue what the right side not blinking is. I haven't called them since Tuesday, so they might have figured it out. But that happened. Very odd. And I was also like, really? Like this stupidly simple process of like forks, wheels, horn, and blinkers, and my blinkers are going to randomly not work. So it was stressful. But all is good and great. The bike he passed it, so we're solid. Brian's getting all that other stuff figured out, but we have a month until it's finished anyway. I think what I'm probably going to do is in that month time, I'm going to do those videos that I told you guys about where I'm talking about the whole process. And I can probably do like a cinematic reveal thing, like an official like music and video and like night shots and all this kind of stuff. So I can probably steal the monster away to do that. So those videos will come out during this month of, you know, waiting on the title. There was also no more paid episodes, so more episodes will come out, but you guys will not get charged. You guys that are still patrons and all, you guys won't get charged any more episodes until season 2. So there's that. So I guess what we'll do now, God, I just talked for 10 minutes straight. That's ridiculous. What we'll do now is if you guys have any questions about the bike or the process, we'll answer those for like 10 minutes, and we'll keep the next 10 minutes Rec Bike Rebuild specific. And then the last 10 minutes, we'll just kind of answer whatever questions you guys want. So the next 10 minutes, let's answer any Rec Bike Rebuild specific questions. So about the bike or anything like that.
Have you come up with a name? I said no. And then I suggested Monster Menage for the name.
Well, I don't really want to name the bike because the bike is.
I know. I was just
telling
you that.
Yeah. Monster Menage would be hilarious.
Did the Monster have a quick shifter on it?
No quick shifter, and we did not install one. So it does not have a quick shifter.
Any idea what the total cost of parts and labor are?
I off the top of my head, I don't know. I think I have all the paperwork I need to figure that out, but that'd be a giant pain in the ass.
What part about the process did you like the best?
What part of the process? So originally, there's an E in there. Originally, I thought that I would enjoy the putting the bike together the most, and I did like that process a lot. But I think what I enjoyed the most was I guess appreciating the contrast between doing all that, putting all the time in on my end, like to do what I did on the bike, but then getting to watch Brian, like Brian's the Ducati mechanic that worked on the Monster, if you guys haven't kept up. But being able to watch him and really appreciate how much knowledge he has, because like there would be situations where I was like flipping out, didn't know what to do, and he was just able to calmly like handle stuff. So I think I that's what I enjoyed the most was, I mean, obviously I was just sitting back recording anyway, but I think that's what I enjoyed the most was getting to watch Brian kind of like, you know, he is somebody that really knows what he's doing. So watching him do his thing was, I think that's probably what I enjoyed the most about it.
Oh no, hold on. What's been the most difficult part?
The most difficult part is probably the scheduling, and this was exacerbated with the fact that it was a Ducati and lots of stuff had to come from Italy. But so what you guys didn't really see in the episodes was to get an episode made, I had to order parts a couple to a few weeks ahead of time to make sure I had them in time for that week's episode. So I think the hardest part of Wreck Bike Rebuild is, you know, you have the off-camera side that's planning and ordering and doing, and you have to go 3 weeks ahead of time. So I'm very interested to see how it runs with like a Yamaha or a Kawasaki, because we're going to do a Japanese bike next. I'm very interested to see that whole process, how it differs from doing it with a Ducati. So
I have a question.
You personally have a question?
No, I mean from them.
Oh, okay.
Since you already stopped the paid episodes, will you be considering doing the giveaway prior to the bike being titled? That way, travel arrangements can be made / done during the summer.
I mean, I guess that's a good idea. There's nothing stopping me from literally doing the giveaway. So yeah, I mean, that actually makes a lot more sense too.
Well, we need to also get the other little prizes, right? Like
yeah,
the stuff that we're giving away. Or are you ordering it and then shipping it?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna probably be drop shipping a lot of the stuff. So if somebody orders a mallet, a tiny thing like that, I'm probably gonna
wins a mallet.
Yeah, sorry. If somebody wins a mallet, I'm probably gonna order that here and sign it and then send it off. But like, I think one of the things we're gonna give away is like a giant case of ginger ale. So
cool.
Like, I'm not gonna sign ginger ale,
yeah.
But as long as I don't have to sign it, those things can be given away as well. But the only thing we were waiting on for the giveaways was the Patreon, the final check from Patreon, because they pay on like the 6th or something like that. So I was waiting for all that money to come in, and that's why I put out episode 16. That's why I was very adamant about putting it out on Tuesday, because that way it'll get in on June's payment that comes in early July.
Can you tell you learned or at least have a better understanding of mechanic work?
Oh, 100%. Granted, I came from a place of like, I could adjust a chain, clean a chain, and I could do like really simple stuff on the bike. So I think now I'm much more comfortable doing things I'm not comfortable with and kind of working my way through a process, especially after watching Brian do stuff and like stuff's just happening. I feel like I'm in a much better spot than I was.
Heather, how stressed out has Chase been during this build? Did you expect this to take off the way it did? So, and Jay, there were times where he was really stressed out. Like Sundays were pretty much the day that you worked on it the most during like the really intense parts of the build, I guess. And those days, he would wake up excited, and then about halfway through the day, he would come upstairs and be either really frustrated or already exhausted. Sometimes he was still really excited, but by the end of the day, he was beat. And but I mean, it was always excited and overall
Sundays were a roller coaster day.
Yeah.
Because I remember every Sunday it's like, babe, got this part, I'm gonna put it on. Then like 12 o'clock came and I'd be like, babe, I got this part and it won't go on.
Yeah, and did you expect this to take off the way it did? Well, it's always hard to say because you threw me off what I was thinking. What was I answering? Did I expect it to take off the way it did? It's hard to say because it's a new thing for his channel, but I think knowing Chase the way I do, he's not going to do it without going full force, so I didn't really doubt it, but it was interesting to watch how other people like took to it, I guess. Why Japanese bikes?
We're going to do a Japanese bike the next time because, for one, I want the contrast of working on an Italian bike and a Japanese bike. But I also am curious. I'm the most curious of if the process will go easier with a more widely available motorcycle, and I can choose any of the 4 main Japanese bikes. And I'm relatively certain that the process will go easier. Like there will be more parts. They won't take as long to get in. There will be a shit ton cheaper, I hope. So I'm really wanting to that contrast of that.
Motorosity isn't here. Do you want to say hi to him?
Moto, what it do, pimp? Where is your baby next to you? What are you doing?
Stupid.
Also, you see, Moto, he's one of those guys. He jumped in the end so he could grab a Holly because he wants 2 R6s.
Oh yeah. Would you ever own a Ducati after having had the chance to work on this one?
That's a good question, and that's a question that I've asked myself many times. Because do you remember for a while I was like, babe, I'm getting a scrambler. Like we're gonna sell T and get a scrambler.
Sure.
I don't know, man. Knowing how much it costs if something goes wrong would probably deter me at this point in time. Though they have some of the most character of most motorcycles. So
Moto said next rebuild series 350Z.
We ain't on that 4-wheel lifestyle, but
who is we?
Well, sorry, not on the Chaseontwowheels channel. Maybe on the Head of DT channel, she can get a 350Z build going.
I'm gonna have to get me a garage.
I would 100% support you doing a 350Z customization. I wouldn't want to do a build because I don't know how to like.
Well, it wouldn't be you.
You would want to like wrench on a car, like the engine and
in
stuff?
this hypothetical situation that we're talking about,
no,
it wasn't you anyways.
I know, but I'm saying I wouldn't be able to help you is what I'm trying to convey. I couldn't help you much on a motorcycle, obviously.
Anyway. What else? If Heather batted her eyes at you and asked for Ducati, would you buy her one?
100%.
Anyways. Don't worry, Chase, I felt the same way. Trying to change out, I don't know how to pronounce that, series engine, LOL.
I don't see where you are. Oh, Kubota? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's I don't know.
So will the winners be sent all the papers of the bike, like papers from Dash Hub, parts, MMS, services, inspections, title? Ow.
Yes. So the winner will get all the paperwork they need, of all the receipts and all that kind of stuff. They won't get any Dash Hub information because Dash Hub is basically the company that I use to buy the bike. You have no need for that. So you'll get the title and all that kind of stuff, obviously, all the necessary stuff.
When is the Tesla coming home?
Oh.
If Heather was getting a new car, it would not be a Tesla, even though I appreciate what they're doing. I wouldn't get a Tesla right now. I have to have my sports car before I go all green.
Dude, I'm totally down. You having a 370Z or do you like 350s or 370s more?
I'd take either.
If we were gonna like seriously have the conversation and we could afford either, which one would you rather have?
Well, 370 would be like, hypothetically in my mind, it would be like top of the budget, so I couldn't really do much with it. So I'd go newer 350, sorry.
Interesting.
And then use the extra money to make the car like I wanted it.
Gotcha. But you like just car for car.
I mean, they're very similar. There's really not much difference besides like the lights and a couple of the body pieces and a couple extra horsepower. But other than that, I don't think they're that much different.
Gotcha. Well, I would support us having a Tesla and a 370Z.
Abby told me that she used to have a 350Z when we were in Texas,
Really?
In the Jeep, like riding around. She was like, yeah, we used to have a 350, or I used to have a 350Z, and then maybe Moto had a truck right after, and then something like that. And I was like, you had a 350Z? And she was like, yeah, calm down. Anyways, I'm not getting a Porsche. I'm sorry.
A Porsche?
What else? Oh, Anthony, stop skipping me, LOL. You have U-Power coated the top plate that holds the handlebars in place. I'm not sure I've seen
Top plate. Oh, I never got that done. I guess I could get that done. That's not that big of a deal.
Can you post a list of all the final? Can you post a list of all the final list of the small prices?
So Frankie, I can, but what I'm waiting on is that Patreon check so that I can see how much money gets taken up, because like Patreon takes fees, and then there's processing fees, and then I have to take taxes out because I'm a responsible American, and then I'll add that to the money that's left over, and once that's done, I will have the big number of like, okay, spend this, and at that point, that's when I'll make a list. So that should happen. If everything works out normally, Patreon normally pays out on the 6th. So I should know around a little after the 6th. I'll be able to at least make the list at that point. Knuckles, yeah, fees suck. Especially with how good Wreck Bike Rebuild is doing. Seeing them fees are like...
Stupid. I really can't remember how I was talking last week when everybody was thinking it was so funny.
I don't know. There's somebody in this stream that was here last week. And
well, how was I talking last week? Because I remember besides like remembering that it was hilarious, I don't remember how I was talking. What do you think about the 250R going out of production? If I'm allowed to ask non-Wreck Bike Rebuild questions.
Oh no, we're in the last 10 minutes, so we can answer whatever now.
Please slow. Oh wait, was it the country accent?
I think I don't. Oh wait, maybe because of that podcast you were listening to or something.
Yeah.
Moto, I didn't know the WR2 or the 250R was going out of like production. I kind of this thing they're not making, or not the X, but the R. Why are they not making that anymore? That's sad. That's my answer to you is sadness. Drunk redneck was what you were doing.
Oh, how is it managing your time with the series, personal life, other videos, MotoMe, and the build series?
That specific question around that time, it was rough because there was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff just converged at the right time. And, you can't really help that sometimes. So, when that happens, Heather is, she keeps up with everything, and she knows that, there's going to be times where it gets really stressful. I feel like I do a pretty good job of managing stress for the majority of the time. It's just when, like, 3 big projects come in at the same time that it's kind of hard to handle. What would you say, being the wife?
What was the question?
so when the meetup was here, Wreck Bike Rebuild was finishing up, and like all the big things converge.
Yeah.
I said I feel like I do a pretty good job handling stress.
So
but
what's the question?
in situations like that, how do you feel I handle that stuff?
I mean,
Do you think I handle stress well? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Heather's gonna handle the stream from here, guys.
Do a Grom. That's what someone said.
If I did a Grom, I could do a gold-plated Grom, and I could make the entire thing out of gold, just like sprayed.
Chase, when will you do the next build?
The next build will happen after all of the giveaways and all of the bikes get sent out.
Do I get to pick it this time?
Yeah. You can. Oh, you have to pick like a group, and then.
No, you pick the group, and then I pick out of the group.
I'll pick. Well, the way it works with Dash Hub is I have to like have a group of bikes because you're not guaranteed any bike.
That's what I just said. You pick the group of bikes, and I narrow it down and surprise you when it drives up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I don't know if I said that.
If it can drive up, we don't know if it can or not.
Skirt. What about an R3? No. Just kidding.
An R3 wouldn't be bad. I would be down for an R1. I'd be down for an FZ09. I think I could make a badass FZ09. Just saying.
Chase, will you ever consider doing like a hyper motard build? Oh wait, I said that wrong. A hyperbike build at reading and stuff.
I don't know what a hyperbike build
HP4, H2, Panigale, Super Leggera. What is that? Oh my god. I was asking that. Yay.
So I probably not for a while, just because those things are expensive as hell.
Oh, did you ever make that art thing with all the golden decal purchaser names? No.
No, I have a guy that told me he was going to send me something, and he still has not sent me anything. So it's like super sad times. If he ever sends it to me, though, it is going to be dope. And I'm excited.
Sauce? Oh, she gonna get on a Valley Girl roll. Is that what that was?
I guess when you were like super la jada.
Oh, I thought that was more like Mexican.
Oh, maybe a Valley Girl is Mexican.
No.
If someone from Georgia would win, could they come out and wrench on season 2? Jose, probably not. And when I say probably not, I mean definitely not. The reason is we have to be very careful about our location and our place of residence. So unfortunately, that is not an option. Kickstand also getting powder coated. Yeah, Jeff, if I can get the top clamp to the powder coater, I'll get the kickstand as well. And I'll black those things out. And I think the bike looks pretty dope right now, but I think that would make it doper.
I vote FZ build.
Yeah, an FC would be dope.
I was reading that. I didn't vote that.
Oh. Okay. Chase, any news on whether or not we will need to re-register on Patreon or not for the next build? Joe, that's a really good question, and I can't definitively answer it right now. I am going to do my absolute best to change the current Patreon page instead of having to restart an entire another one. I feel pretty confident that I can change it up, though. So whenever I do finally figure that out, I'll let you guys know. Now that we don't have any more paid episodes, I feel a lot safer to kind of mess around with it. So. Oh shit, we can only answer a couple more questions.
Upgrades are on the monster.
What upgrades? That is a question for a cinematic reveal where we detail everything.
Or you just go back and watch all the videos.
Oh, much better idea. Yes.
Chase is the man.
Anthony, I appreciate it.
Naked. Heather is actually an undercover CIA agent. She will be forced to kill you if you find out where they live. Why do you think they had to move? They buried too many bodies in the backyard. Oh my God. Calm down.
Do you want to do like 30 seconds? Oh, it's 9:30. Dang.
Heather is on point.
Heather
Whatever
is on
that
point.
means. When's the next live stream happening?
Jeff, the next time a Wreck Bike Reboot episode happens.
Still working on getting you that Gear 360 from my company as well.
Dude, yes. Do that. I'll make cool content and I'll promote it. Promise.
When will the winner be announced?
After July 29th.
Will there be more live streams?
Yes.
Can't wait to see who wins. Hopefully me. LOL. Do a Honda.
It's in the running.
Y'all, I'm going to be the one picking it, so.
You can't say that because people will take you seriously.
Wait, I really am. We just discussed this.
The winner.
I thought
you were talking about the next
new
bill.
bike.
Gotcha. I thought you were talking about the winner. I was like,
Oh,
you
no.
can't choose the winner.
Do you like live streaming? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Like spice, like baby spice. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Who was it that said that?
I don't know.
Was it that person? They were like, what was the joke?
What was the spice, baby spice thing?
He went to a restaurant and asked for light spice, and the lady was like, kind of looked at him like, what? And he was like baby spice.
Yes. Oh my God, that has to be in like the top 10 moments of live stream.
Heather, what bike would buy regardless of cost? English? I don't know.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you game for a Rebo competition? Moto, yes. I say let me get season 2 out of the way. And then maybe season 3, we'll try to get 2 of the same bike, and we'll have a build off or something like that.
Who is judging that though? Who's gonna pick the winner?
Me and Moto will have to jump on a call and discuss all these things. Maybe you and Abby can't decide because y'all are
yes, we can.
Moto, I will talk to you about that later. Everyone else, so it's 9:32. We're gonna have to run out of here. I'm sorry to have to cut this live stream short. Hopefully, you guys understand.
Heather. Sorry, somebody just said Heather.
Fun fact: there will not be a Wreck Bike Reboot episode next week. Although next Tuesday, I do have. If you're a fan of Wreck Bike Reboot, I've got a really fun video that you'll probably enjoy a lot. So that's it for us this week. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed episode 16 of Wreck Bike Rebuild. And I will see you guys on the next live stream. Heather's been killing it with the live stream, so hopefully you'll see us both on the next live stream. Maybe not next week, the week after. We appreciate y'all's support, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Bye, indeed. Later, guys.
How you do this?
You click the red button, and then we have to say some like, I hope we click the stop button. Did you click?